Hi, it's Ben from T-Rex Space Station here. How are you all doing? I would say I hope you're all having a nice weekend so far, but I know that's not exactly true with the whole Google Plus fiasco going on right now. I've been really enjoying watching your opinions on it. Well, unanimously the opinions are that it's a pile of shit. But I'm not going to get stuck into that debate for this video. I know that's very topical, but I want to talk about something else, something a little bit different from what everyone else is mostly going on about at the moment. I want to talk about video games that don't go anywhere. Might sound like a strange topic, I suppose, and I suppose I should probably explain what I mean by that. Now, there are certain video games, of course, that you can play that you can't complete. An example that I seem to be mentioning a lot recently would be, say, River Raid on the Atari 2600. You know, those kind of arcadey games where you can't actually finish them. It's kind of like a loop of a game that gets more and more difficult as you go along, and I suppose the objective to a game like that would be to get a high score. Or to show off to your friends, really. But I'm not really talking about games like that. When I say games that don't go anywhere, I'm talking about games that are sort of not designed to be completed. They're designed to be sort of played and enjoyed as the process goes along, sort of day by day, I suppose. An example of a game that fits into that category for me would be Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Wii, or just the series in general, really. It was a series that I'd never really been into, but there's so much excitement about each title. Whenever a new Animal Crossing game comes out, my Facebook feed gets filled with people excitedly basically going on about it, and they're posting pictures of their towns on my Facebook wall and all this different stuff. And so yeah, when Let's Go to the City came out on the Nintendo Wii, I thought, maybe I'll try it and see what all the fuss is about. It's kind of a game where you're supposed to do a little bit, but often. You know, you play as a character in a town, you go shopping for items, you do kind of really small, menial tasks. Things like, you know, looking for fossils on the beach, or going fishing, buying furniture. It's not a game that you play to complete, there's no story. It's a game where you just play to enjoy the process and kind of get into another life, I suppose. I really couldn't get into it, and I did give it a fair whack. I must have played it for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe, playing every day, and I just couldn't get invested in it. I just couldn't click with a game that was sort of, there was nothing to do other than what I decided to do. That's, to me, a video game that doesn't go anywhere, and I also find it surprising that I don't get into it because it's such a big series. You know, there are examples of other types of games, maybe things like The Sims, where, again, it's a very popular series that I've struggled to get into. You know, there aren't particular set objectives. I mean, I think there are sort of challenge modes where you have to try and achieve certain things and get your Sims to go to university or whatever. But I really struggle with games where there aren't clear objectives. I kind of like to play a game that's got a story, things that I can complete, things that I can do, tick off the list and you know, move on. But no, sometimes there is a bit of a blurred margin, and I think certain online role-playing games, Morpegs and things like that, can actually subtly be games that don't go anywhere without you realising it. Now, Diablo 3 was a game that I was really looking forward to pre-release, and there was so much anticipation for that video game. I bought it very soon after the release date, and I must have invested, I think I was invested about 180 hours in it overall, so I have played enough to form a pretty good opinion of the game. You know, this is a kind of dungeon crawler, hack and slash game. You know, you get items, you level up, etc. And there are objectives to start with. You know, you have a certain number of acts to get through, and a boss at the end of each one, and then you go on to face Diablo at the end. But actually beating Diablo, even beating Diablo on the hardest difficulty, is a relatively small amount of the game, and there isn't that much content to it. After you've done that, it becomes a game that doesn't go anywhere. The idea is to keep going and get more items and improve your character and get more gold, but what's the objective to that? I found that they didn't make updates or additional content anywhere near fast enough, so that most people had finished the end game and were just left faffing around getting items with really no real reason. And a lot of online multiplayer games are sort of like that. It's like you're just getting better as a character, developing, but you're not going anywhere. There's nothing more content-wise to do or to unlock. And so it becomes a bit of yeah, a pointless process. It's like, what are you going to do now? Get stronger. And then when you're stronger, what will you do? Will you be able to kill monsters quicker and get stronger faster? Okay. Just a bit of a sort of endless cycle, isn't it? So I got very disillusioned with Diablo 3 and actually stopped playing it. But yeah, 180 hours or so is pretty good going. My housemate managed to clock up 300 or something before he eventually got bored. It goes to show how you can be suckered in by things, and only after you start to get a bit tired do you realise that you kind of had the wool pulled over your eyes and there wasn't actually much to it. But I'd like to know your opinions. Do you guys like games like Second Life, The Sims, Animal Crossing, things where there is no set objective, it's just an experience or a process? You play the game, you get immersed in the world, you don't necessarily have to achieve things. Yeah, is it just me? Maybe I'm just too goal orientated, or story orientated, because as I said, those types of games are very popular. I'd like to know your thoughts, so yeah, please do let me know in the comments below, and maybe you could recommend games that don't go anywhere that I should try, and maybe I'll enjoy the experience. Who knows? Alright guys, take care, and try not to get too pissed off at Google. You're only going to end up getting stressed out. I advise you to go play some Mega Drive to diffuse the tension. Alright guys, take care and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.